expedited and done on such short notice because we were waiting for the government.
Yeah, you mentioned fans there. The team has gone through so much, playing in front of no fans and half capacity, then back to no fans and full capacity. What is it like playing in front of 13,000 fans outside?
He gets on top of the puck. Over to Pace Roth. Pace Roth doesn't put enough on it to clear the zone. Back in the corner again. Stars still maintaining possession. Puck comes right out front, loose puck. Ballantine holds the line. He'll dump it down in the corner again. Ends up on the stick of Burge. Burge tries to just lob it out into neutral ice and will. It's quickly thrown back into Nationals territory. Burge, long pass for Wood. Wood across the blue line. Drop pass for Julian. Julian takes a shot. Nice slap shot right at the top of the circle. Roberts with a great blocker save. Puck comes out, loose puck right down low at the blocker. Roberts, and he'll hang on.
You can tell Wood is just itching for that goal. You know, he's playing that high man, and especially after that shot that he had last, just off the post, you can tell he wants it and he's working hard for it.
Another great play by the Nationals top line as they continue to generate offense, but nothing to show for it as of yet. Beaupre in the faceoff circle, won by the Stars. Alexander will play it behind the net, stolen right back by Sandovi. Sandovi walks out, takes a shot. That goes off a stick and out of play again. You can see the speed and tenacity of this line for the Nationals on display again, as you have two of the most bulldog kind of players, the dog on the bone in Beaupre and Sandovi. Guys, just do not give up on any play out there. And Nichols, who is one of the better trigger men on the Nationals design, has generated some offense so far tonight. And expect to see some more opportunities for them as the game goes on.
You can see the Nationals are getting a little bit more physical here. They're bumping bodies, they're moving puck, they're winning battles. And that's what they need to do to generate more opportunities moving forward on net.
Across the blue line, here comes Sandovi. Sandovi just floats it on net, hope to get Beaupre on it. And bouncing puck again, ends up in the glove of Nicholas Roberts. Another great save by Roberts. Roberts coming into this game with an .884 save percentage. Numbers looking like they're going, not going to look the same so far in the playoffs. 23 shots against so far.
And we're seeing Julian Burge and Wood back out again, hopefully to create some more opportunities here.
As I said, it should be almost every other shift we're going to see them at this point. McGowan tries to wind up and take a shot, but fans on it. Puck gets through the blue line. McGowan tries to hold the line, but can't. And be picked up by Oliver Bonk. Bonk gets it over, but yeah, Patrice almost gets muscled off the puck. Bonk will find it again. Lead pass goes over to Mazza, but that gets tipped up. Puck just clears the zone. Nationals giving a bit of luck there. And they'll get possession right back. Over to McGowan. McGowan, lead pass just out of the reach of Burridge. And whistled down, and will come all the way back down to the Nationals territory on the ice.
It's still pretty early in the third period. What do you think about the coach for the London Nationals' choice to rotate their top line every other time?
What you at this point is what you need to do. Dave Mastos knows what he has in his top line, and he's going to ride them as hard as you can because it's the playoffs. There's do or die. There's no time for letting up on the play. You do anything you can to get goals in this game.
I'm sure they've been doing lots of conditioning throughout the year to prepare themselves for this exact moment. So it's going to be tough on them to continue this speed throughout the rest of the game.
It is the biggest test for Dave Massos' Nationals so far this season, ever since coming into the team halfway through the regular season. Ballantine will take that puck up and just throw it back the other way. Doesn't quite get into the Nationals territory. Arsenault will try to move out. Pass intended for Julian, just out of his reach. So another icing as that comes back down to Nationals territory again. Seeing a lot out of the Nationals blue line right now, really pushing that home run pass. Anytime they get the puck around their own circles, just looking for somebody at the opposing blue line. Get some kind of break going, an odd man rush, breakaway, some kind of offensive generation right now.
Yeah, Wood seems to be good, and he seems to want to be the high man up in the center of the ice or the blue line, and he seems to be getting opportunities through that, which is really good for the Nationals.
Puck gets played around over under the stick of Ballantine. Bouncing puck again, ends up over on the stick of Roberts, and Roberts just goes offside as Amaral couldn't hold the line. A change now as both teams go for the wholesale change.
You can see a little bit of frustration out of the Nationals here as they're not getting exactly what they want here. And the Stars are putting a quick stop to them.
Absolutely. As now we see the Torrealba line come out. Face off won by Torrealba, nice and clean. Over onto the stick of Pace Ross. Pace Ross gets to the blue line but can't clear it in. Heggie tries to dish the puck over to Torrealba and will. Torrealba across the blue line, walks in, takes a shot. That gets blocked by Alexander. Alexander playing a bit of soccer behind the net as he kicks the puck out. Puck gets to the hash marks. Can't get by. Mazza tries to get the clear, but that's stopped. Right at the blue line again. Griffiths tries to get a hold of it. He can't. Puck gets it. It's thrown right in the center ice. Now dumped into the National zone as the Stars go off for a change. Nagy, lead pass just out of reach of Torrealba. Now comes back the other way. Bit of a foot race coming here as Jackson Phillips on top of it. Phillips throws it behind the net. Picked up by Hagee. Hagee's lead pass misses his target. French will come back and play it for the Nationals. Now over to Pace Rock. Nice easy pass over to Jaden French. Jaden French will just throw it in as he goes off for a change. Gets to the blue line. Partial 2-on-1 developing here for the Stars. Coming in across. Nice pass blocked. Great defensive work by the Nationals as they'll go back the other way. 3-on-2. Right over to Bowers. Bowers tries to get it to Julian. Julian can't quite handle it. The bouncing puck goes right over his stick. Gets to the blue line. Griffiths tries to hold the line. Now he'll pick up. Amaral will bring it out. Amaral all by himself throws it up. Nice glove save by Barry as he flashes the leather.
He is fast. Amaral is a very fast player for the St. Thomas Stars. Even on his own there, you know, he almost beat their defenseman right to the net, and they had the National players back checking, and he's a really good player for them.
The thing is, too, the Stars are still missing their top scorer on the team. No Mathieu Perry in the lineup. He had 40 points throughout the season, so that's a big missing weapon for the Stars. And if they're putting up this kind of performance without their top scorer, it's going to be a big asset if he comes back. Wood tries to dance around Ballantine, but is quickly stolen by Girth. Now he's sent down length of the ice. And they'll go for icing. So the Nationals top line going to get an opportunity to have an offensive zone faceoff. Not surprising here, Nationals defense switching out. As out comes McGowan and Arsenault. Put out every big weapon you have. Anytime you can get the faceoff in the offensive zone at this point. Picked up by Girth. Girth, nice lead pass as the Stars bring it over the blue line. But Cooper can't go anywhere with it. Amaral down the corner. And just throw it behind him. Arsenault will pick it up. Arsenault lead pass, tries to hit Wood on the far side, but just gets picked off on the way. McGowan Skates by one defender. He'll try to bring it into the offensive zone himself. Dumps it. Will go get it himself. Over to Wood. Back to McGowan. McGowan to Julian. Back to the blue line to Arsenault. Over to Burge on the far side. Burge tries to make a move to get around his man. That gets stopped. Great hustle there by Mazza. Keeps it out. Alexander. Throw it around his defense partner. Almost picked off Ray at the blue line. Now it will be Wood. He walks in, tries to take a shot. That gets blocked. Great stick work by Alexander. Puck gets thrown right out front again. No one there. Haggy holds the line. Bouncing puck still. Now it will come out. Medeiros, he'll break down. He tries to take a shot. That gets blocked by Pace Roth and finds its way into the corner. Sanofi out there. He throws a couple of bodies. Miscommunication down low. Another shot outside. Loose puck out front. Medeiros gets another shot on net and a great save again by Barry. Down behind the Nationals net. Heggie throws it over. Stolen back by the Nationals. Wood will pick it up and he just throws a long pass. Jacob Julian can't quite handle it. Here comes Bonk the other way. Oliver Bonk tries to find that pass right in the slot. Gets picked off again by the Nationals. Sanofi tries to take it himself. Gets stopped up right at the red line. Over to Watson. Another shot on net by Phillips. These two Stars down on the ice behind the play. They got to hustle to get back in the play itself. Phillips gets a hold of the puck. Over to McNair. McNair, he gets hit by Beaupre. Beaupre tries to throw it right back into the Stars, deep in the Stars territory. But that gets picked off out of midair. Across the blue line is Roberts. Gets over to McNair in the slot. McNair can't get a shot. As the great defense work by the Nationals denies that opportunity. Nichols across the blue line. Drops it for Griffiths. Back to Nichols. Nichols carries it behind the net. Throws it to the point. Monroe, he waits. Trying to find an open shot. Takes it, and that one just gets tipped wide of the net. Just under 7 minutes left here in the third period. Still 3-1 is your score in favor of the Stars. Shots are 25-23 in favor of the Stars. Played by Griffiths. Gets back to the red line, and he'll dump it down in the offensive zone. Roberts comes out and plays it. Lead pass ends up on the stick of Cooper. Cooper tries to drive the slot. Gets denied, and here come the Nationals the other way. Corey Alba. Nice pass right over to Bowers. Bowers tries to get another pass over to right out front to Nichols. Nichols can't get the shot off. Loose puck still down in the corner now. French in there. He can't get a shot off. Gets to the blue line, dumped in. Corey Alba doesn't see that the hand was up by the linesman. So we're going to come all the way back down to the Nationals territory as the Stars will get an offensive zone draw here. 6 minutes left in the third.
I find we're seeing the Nationals just kind of blindly throwing the puck away, and the Stars being there conveniently and just picking up on it. And I think that they need to focus more on taking their time, passing to their team, and not just throwing the puck away and allowing for St. Thomas to pick it up.
Played it down to Arsenault. Arsenault just throws it far all the way down the length of the ice. They'll go for icing again. Nationals still trying to find something to pick up here.
Yeah, they're a little bit confused and frustrated to why that wasn't icing there. You can see Tori Alba throwing up his hands, being like, what? Why was that called an icing?
9-4-5. The winning ticket holder can claim their prize.
A bit of a conversation happening here at center ice. Nationals claiming that it shouldn't be icing, and I'm going to hear it. So we're going to have a face-off at center ice now. So Tori Alba in there for the Nationals, up against Nick Cuban for the Stars. Face-off one, picked up by the Stars. That will be brought in across the blue line by Medeiros. Long pass over to Bowers. Bowers over to French. French gets hit, gets it back to Bowers. Bowers trying to walk in, finally gets a stick lifted at the last second. He had a clear lane to the front of the net. Arsenault, he's in bowing tight for the puck with Mazza. Gets some help from McGowan. Nationals will try to break out of their own zone. McGowan across the blue line. Gets over to Burge. Burge over to French. French tries to get a shot on net. Waits a little too long. Still loose puck. Finally comes out of the zone. As two players caught up right at the blue line. We're going to have a penalty coming here. There'll be a holding call. And it looks like it is coming to the St. Thomas Stars.
This will be a really good opportunity. You know, French drew that penalty for London. There's 5 minutes left in the play here.
Just good work by French. Stays on his feet. Ends up getting taken down by Catrice.
Like we said, 2 goals is the worst lead in hockey. Once London, hopefully, we capitalize on this here. You got Julian Wood out there on the power play.
Face off one cleanly by Julian. Over to McGowan. Nationals get a good chance to set up here on the power play. 1 for 3 so far. Bowers to Wood. Wood brings it down the left wing side. Back to the point to McGowan. McGowan takes the shot. Still trying to find an opening. Over to McGowan. Back over to Wood. Wood can't handle the pass. Stars going to try to jump on quickly. Ballantine, he can't get the puck out. Still holding it down low. Good work by Wood. Gets it over to Julian. Pinned against the wall by Valentine. Now will finally be taken away by the Nationals. McGowan over to Burridge. Back to McGowan. Low, right down low. Wood takes a shot. That gets blocked. McGowan again. Shot from the blue line. Loose puck out front. Still can't bury it. Puck stays in. Great play by McGowan. Wood cross ice to Burridge. Burridge fires. Takes that shot. That gets tipped and out of play. As the Stars penalty killer standing tall again, denying every chance the Nationals have.
That was a great power play that the Nationals were running in the St. Thomas zone. What do you think the Nationals did that made that power play so exciting to watch?
Started moving the puck a bit, and they started trying to get those open lanes. It started to work, but the problem is they're not getting anything down low. Anytime Julian or Wood's been down low, they haven't been able to get a stick on the puck to make anything bury. Burridge, back to Bowers. Bowers takes a big slap shot from the blue line, but that gets tipped over the net. Bonk tries to throw it hard on the other side. Wood holds on to that. He has to fight off Alexander. Gets a bit of help there from Bowers. Puck pops out, and Bonk will take it for a skate as he carries it across the red line. And just dumps it into the Nationals territory. Amaril's the lone man in there. Burridge will pick it up. Yeah, Burridge across the blue line. Walks in. Gets the puck picked off his stick. Thomas Monroe will regroup for the Nationals as they start bringing out the second unit. Julian tries to do a cross-ice pass. That gets picked up by McNair and sent all the way back down to the Nationals territory. Monroe again. Blind pass cross-ice. Ends up on the stick of Nichols. Nichols cross-ice again. Walks in. Pace Roth back down onto his stick again. Loose puck out front. And the Stars will clear the zone as the penalty expires. Barry comes out. Quickly throws it down the length of the ice. Just out of reach now, 2:55 remaining in the game. Brought across the blue line by French. Going to have to keep an eye on Barry now as the Stars bring it across the blue line. McNair will throw it into the corner. Nationals collect the puck. Over to Sanavy, back over to French. French, he'll walk in, takes the shot, just goes off the glove of Roberts and stays out. Now to Monroe. Back to the point. That puck bounces over to the stick of Nichols. Pace Roth corrals the puck. Brings it over to Nichols again. Nichols lead pass to Monroe. Monroe will walk in himself. Barry now onto the bench. 6 attackers out for the Nationals. Jeff Burge out there as a 6th attacker. He'll bring it back and regroup as the Nationals try to set up here. Over to Wood. Wood just lobs a pass over to Thomas Monroe. Monroe to Sanavy. Sanavy brings it across the blue line. Throws it right into the slot to Nichols. Nichols, he gets taken down. Just tries to bring it right back to the blue line. Stars are going to have an opportunity. Cooper walks in, shoots, and scores! And with that, the Stars are going to ice the game as Ryan Cooper buries it for the Stars as they take a 4-1 lead and stunning this Nationals crowd. A big goal here for the Stars and a statement win as they will take home ice advantage over the London Nationals here in a wild game one. Still a minute 41 left to play here. Picked up by Bonk. Over to Alexander. Alexander will take that and just dump it down the length of the ice. Gets tipped, so no icing. Brought back the other way. Across the blue lines, McGowan. McGowan will walk in. Hits behind the nets. Looking for that open pass. Loses the puck to Alexander. Quickly stolen back. Right over to McGowan again. McGowan walks in, tries to get a shot. That gets blocked again. Great work by Bonk in tight. Back out front. Another shot by Arsenault. That gets blocked. The Stars continue to get bodies and sticks on everything the Nationals put on net. And nothing is getting towards Tyler Roberts.
You know what's good to see here is the Nationals, they're not giving up. They're still playing a great game. They're still trying to get lots of shots on net. And when you're down 3 goals, that's a tough thing to do.
Back the other way. Across the blue line. Dump and chase. Thrown in the far corner. Vanderzon will pick it up. Just throw it out. 30 seconds left here in the game. Duarte tries to get a stick on it. Nothing going for the Nationals again. Vanderzon, he takes his man down and gets the puck out into Stars territory. Girth out there again. He'll do a nice cross-ice pass over to Ballantine. Back over, stolen again. Picked up by Mazza. He'll just dump it down over to Girth again. And with that, the Stars are just going to hang on and let the clock run down as the Stars will take a 1-0 series lead here in the Western Conference quarterfinals over the London Nationals. So we will be back with the postgame, the Paul Duarte and Associates postgame show right after this.
Sure, right now a lot of you feel like you aren't able to be who you truly are.
What's most important, more important than everybody else knowing who you are, is that you know who you are.
As a young person, time moves slower for you. And just know that things will get better.
It Gets Better Canada is a registered Canadian charity with a focus on uplifting our queer youth through the power of digital storytelling.
As a Two-Spirit person, I use they, them pronouns, but that's not the case for every Two-Spirit person.
There are so many voices out there that we didn't have 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
No matter what your mind tells you, you really are perfect the way you are, so stop beating yourself up so much.
I'm gonna be a boy in a dress, because why not?
Your identity is explosive.
We all have our unique journeys, but one thing that connects us all is the desire to be happy, the desire to celebrate being our authentic selves. Welcome to the Paul Duarte and Associates Nationals postgame show here on Rogers TV.
4-1 is your final here at the Western Fair after game 1 of the Western Conference quarterfinals. The St. Thomas Stars come out and stun the London Nationals in a wild affair to start this series. And we'll start right off the bat looking at our 3 stars of tonight. And just a wild 3 stars they could be. Not too surprising with first star of the game in Tyler Roberts, second star coming out to be Max Amaral, and then third star Oliver Bonk. Great performances all around by those 3. Just not too surprising what we saw out of those forwards, for these 3 in particular for the Stars.
Yeah, they all played a great game. Tyler Roberts was a complete brick wall tonight for St. Thomas. And again, we saw Maddox Armrell coming out strong. He was a force to be reckoned with. He gave the London Nationals a run for their money with 2 goals total. And then again, Oliver Bonk, great defenseman, great player, good solid body for the St. Thomas Stars. And he played a great game and defended Tyler Roberts phenomenally.
Yeah, absolutely. And Roberts comes in this game, not the goalie we were expecting. We were expecting to see Owen Wilmore between the net for the St. Thomas Stars. Roberts comes in and just puts on an absolute clinic defensive, for the St. Thomas Stars, shutting down everybody on the Nationals. Nationals get the 1 goal on the power play in the first period on just a nice, great tic-tac-toe play. But really, other than that, they just couldn't generate any consistent offense.
Yeah, he completely shut down the London Nationals. He didn't allow for them to give up too much. And I also want to attest that to probably St. Thomas's back check and defensive as well. It wasn't Roberts on his own. They just played an overall great game tonight. And I can tell the London Nationals was quite frustrated with that, as they expected to come in tonight and win the first game of the playoffs.
Absolutely. And with that, we will be back with more of the Paul Duarte & Associates Nationals postgame show after this.
For more information about the vaccine and eligibility, visit healthunit.com. To book an appointment, call the number on your screen or book online at covidvaccinelm.ca.
Calling all journalism students, Omni Television is once again awarding scholarships to qualified students pursuing a career in third language journalism.
When I found out that I won an Omni scholarship, I honestly wasn't expecting it. Winning an Omni scholarship helped me realize that I chose the right career path by pursuing third language journalism.
Omni is home to a variety of locally produced current affairs programs and daily national newscasts, broadcast in 6 languages. To learn more about Omni scholarships, visit omnitv.ca/scholarships.
When an impaired driver killed my brother DJ, my life changed forever. Life has changed for all of us during the pandemic, and many people are turning to alcohol and drugs to cope. Even though most of us are staying home more, police across Ontario are seeing an alarming increase in impaired driving and the horrible devastation that goes with it. Now, more than ever, we need your commitment to never drive impaired and to encourage all of your family and friends to do the same. Together, we can save lives.
Jeff from Chillin' and Grillin' with Jeff. We're back for season 3. We've had the opportunity to see some great backyards and have some great barbecue. Join us, Chillin' and Grillin' with Jeff.
Enjoy watching Arby's Nationals hockey on Rogers TV? Then join the crew. Volunteers learn the skills needed to put on a show, including camera, audio, graphics, and more. Visit rogerstv.com/volunteer to sign up. Back here again as the St. Thomas Stars take a surprising 4-1 victory over the London Nationals in a wild first game of this Western Conference quarterfinals. Now looking at some of the highlights that we saw here, we saw goals from all over the place. Nationals picking up just the 1 in that first period. Going into the first intermission, it was 1-1, and it was a bit of an error on Barry's part right off the bat, as that miscue may have started something altogether for the Stars.
Yeah, I would think so. I think from that first goal, they picked up the momentum and they just rolled with it throughout the game. And I think that them coming out with an aggressive, playing very aggressive, kind of offset the Nationals a little bit. And that's what gave them the advantage, and that goal on Barry too.
Second period, we saw more of the same from the Stars, just capitalizing on mistakes from the Nationals with the first goal by Emerald, and then the second one by Catrice, just jumping on open pucks as the Nationals just couldn't get there in time. And then third period happens and they couldn't really do anything. Open net, empty netter, ice the game as Cooper buries it for the Stars. The perfect game one if you're the Stars in this in this game, and only the one goal there by him in the third period. Shots on goal as well, 32-24 in favor of the St. Thomas Stars. So even though the Nationals were trailing all through the second and third periods, the Stars just continued to outshoot them every step of the way. Not the game plan that I assume Dave Mastos had written up coming out of this game.
No, I don't think so either. And what it comes down to is St. Thomas winning those battles on London. And at the end of the day, you win the battles, you're going to get the opportunities. And I don't think London had that fight in them tonight as much as St. Thomas did.
Absolutely. And with that, we'll be back with our final thoughts after this.
I'm Shannon Woolley, host of Batter Up Beachville on Rogers TV. Join myself and Doug Harris as we learn more about the first recorded baseball game in Beachville.
Calling all journalism students, Omni Television is once again awarding scholarships to qualified students pursuing a career in third language journalism.
I am very grateful to be one of the recipients of the Omni TV scholarship. This scholarship gave me hope. It made me see that there is space for people like me in the media industry.
Omni is home to a variety of locally produced current affairs programs and daily national newscasts, broadcast in 6 languages. To learn more about Omni scholarships, visit omnitv.ca/scholarships.
You know why. Operation Smile, alongside our medical volunteers, provides safe cleft surgery to children free of charge thanks to generous donors like you. That was until we fell into a pandemic. If you only knew what I'm going. By December, tens of thousands more children will be waiting for surgery. Please help us keep our promise and deliver smiles to children in need when surgeries resume.
Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Mario Elia, and I'm the host of a new show here on Rogers TV that we're calling Keeping London Healthy with Dr. Mario. So tune in Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. and we'll see you then.
Watch, play, and win every Monday night at 8 p.m. with Optimus TV Bingo on Rogers TV. Cards are available at multiple London locations and are good for all 3 games. Weekly jackpots total $3,000. And shout out to former play-by-play for the Nationals here, Ryan Robinson, as I know he's watching tonight, and the avid bingo player. Going through this game as well, the Nationals and Stars goaltending was a big story for most of this. Aiden Barry didn't look as good as we normally see, but on the other side, Roberts was phenomenal start to finish for the Stars and was just lights out the entire way.
Yeah, St. Thomas's key to the game was goaltending, and Roberts did a great job of fulfilling that for St. Thomas tonight. And you know, with London's great offense, you know, you have Burge. It's definitely a fear playing the Nationals when you have such a good scoring offensive. So you want to make sure that you have good defense as well as goaltending.
Absolutely. He had to make some big saves. Got a little lucky on that play right there. That could have been a turning point in the game. As you had Wood coming down the left wing side, just rifles that one right off the post. He was fantastic throughout the entire game. Reezy is one of our 3 stars tonight. He was just excellent. Exactly what you needed for the Stars tonight, coming in to steal game 1 here at the Western Fair and home ice advantage. So it's going to be a huge game 2. And then on the other side, Aiden Barry, we're used to seeing exceptional performances. He was only just good tonight.
I would say so. I maybe think we're going to chalk it up to first game, first playoffs nerves, not having a great weekend, and also that first goal, I feel like it threw him off a little bit. And usually we don't see that from him. He usually bounces back fairly quickly, but I feel like that maybe threw him off a bit, not having that defensive protection as well.
Absolutely. for that. It was a tough game for Barry. Expect him to bounce back in Game 2. And then for us here at Western Fair Sports Center, Game 3, always tune in. That will be Saturday night at 7 o'clock here on Rogers TV, as it will be a much different series from what we saw coming into this game. It'll either be turning into a best-of-5 series, or the Stars could be up 2-0 and have almost a stranglehold on the series by then. Now, going into Game 3, into Game 2 and Game 3, what do the Nationals need to do differently to try to come out with a win?
I think tonight they had a bit of a wake-up call. And, I think that they need to just relax, calm down a bit, remember, stick to the basics, and just really win those battles, because that's what it comes down to. It comes down to the small stuff. They need to work as a team. Like I said, you're only as strong as your weakest link, and if they do that, I feel like they will be successful in the next games, in the next series.
Absolutely. I think wake-up call is the best way to describe it. Nationals coming out here looked like they may have come in a little too overconfident in this game. Everybody had them coming in here, possibly even doing a sweep against the Stars. So the Stars got to work to their advantage. Big, great game for them. It's going to be a huge, monumental game at the Joe Thornton Memorial Arena in St. Thomas. But until our next game here, thank you everybody so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
That's a major contributor to global warming.
And I understand there is a bit of overwintering that happens here, if I take these dome things to be correct.
Yeah.
Do you mind showing us them and telling a bit about them?
Yeah, this is the first year that we're going to be doing some major overwintering. Usually we close down for 2 to 3 months. This year we're aiming for just 1 month of no production. So we're going to be using the hoop houses along with some low tunnels inside of the hoop houses to further insulate the crops, to grow some cold hardy crops like turnip, kale, spinach, things like that. So yeah, it's pretty exciting.
Let's go check it out. So I see you have a lot of tomatoes. Yeah. Is that mostly what's going to be in this dome?
So we put our indeterminate tomatoes inside of our hoop houses here with the theme of season extension in mind. Indeterminate tomatoes will produce continually until the weather gets too cold, and by putting them in the hoop house, we're able to season extend by a month or 2 months even to get a bigger crop. So once the tomatoes are done, we will be removing them, and then this will also be planted with things like turnip and spinach, as I was saying, and then the low tunnels will go over those crops.
Oh, okay, yeah. Very cool. Would you mind showing us your composting site?
You got it.
All right, so obviously these are your composting piles.
Indeed, yeah. We have one in the curative phase, so this stuff has already been broken down, and we're leaving that to kind of finish up so we can spread it on our field. And then this is our active pile that we're adding all of the kitchen scraps that the community donates to us currently.
What can the community donate and what can't they donate?
So no like meat or animal products, but all sorts of other kind of vegetative kitchen scraps are welcome. A lot of people think that compostable plastic bags are good for compost. They do break down, but they just turn into microplastic. So I don't love when those are added to the compost. And we do tend to remove them.
What about like paper bags?
Paper bags are totally fine.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. What about bread products?
Yeah, we actually have a partner in a whole grain hearth, and all of their kind of stale stuff they donate, and we chip it up so it's not sitting as a big loaf in there, but we are able to deal with bread products.
I see a lot of wasps and flies all over. Yes. You were mentioning that this happens when you leave your like food material on top. So do you cover it?
So in a compost pile, you want an optimal ratio of green material to brown material. And your green material is your nitrogen-rich material, while your brown material is your carbon-rich material. And just as a rule of thumb, you want about a 2-inch layer of greens to about a 6-inch layer of browns, and you want to alternate those layers as you're building your pile. And the wasps will get to it when you leave your greens exposed. So we've got some watermelons and things like that wasps love. So we have started covering it back up, and we try to stay on top of that as we're adding our green material.
Speaking of wasps, I hear you guys have some beehives.
Yes.
And I would love to check them out.
Let's do it.
So these are your beehives. Are you ever nervous to be close to them?
No, honeybees are generally pretty docile. I've participated in the harvest of the honey one time, and it's a pretty cool experience. You actually can kind of feel in the air how the bees are feeling almost. You smoke them, as you might know, to make them more docile. But as you disturb the hive, they kind of swarm a little bit more. But if you smoke them correctly, they really do remain docile. As you can see, there's bees flying kind of all around us right now, and I personally feel pretty calm and sensing the vibe that it's pretty calm. So yeah, it's pretty neat that way.
You can find Urban Roots Community Composting Program at which site? At Norland Ave or the Siloam Church on Fanshawe Park Road?
It was our 35th anniversary. To celebrate, we were on our way to Mama Rosie's, where we had our first date. That's when we heard coming from the radio. So we stopped and listened. It helped us get to safety. So when I think of our anniversary, because now we have even more to celebrate.
Your visit isn't really necessary.
I'll judge for myself.
I know you're an MP, Miss McPhail, but a woman has never...
I am not leaving till I do. How can such a society be called civilized? If those appalling conditions don't change, that prison will explode!
Perhaps our lone lady member is too fragile to know what is normal in a prison.
Is this normal?
Her courage would lead to the overhaul of the entire Canadian penal system. Agnes McPhail, Canada's first woman MP.
You can find Urban Roots Community Composting Program at which site? You can find the Urban Roots Community Composting Program at the Norland Ave site. This program allows Urban Roots to reuse our food waste and divert it from our landfills. Thank you, Ben, for having me here. I just have one final question. I just want to know, do you guys have any plans for Norland site?
Yeah, so we're gonna continue growing the things that we have for the most part. We're gonna pare down some of the varieties of various crops that we have while expanding the cultural diversity of our crops. And we're gonna focus more on pollinators as well, getting some more wildflowers to grow as well.
That's awesome. I want to thank you again. I had so much fun exploring both sites and learning more about Urban Roots. If you do want to get involved in Urban Roots, there is an opportunity to volunteer, and you can email the volunteer coordinator. And if you want to contribute in other ways, you can always purchase their produce. They have markets on Wednesday and Sundays. And then you can also bring your compost here. And that's just one easy way to help out the amazing program and activities happening with Urban Roots. So thanks for joining me this week, and I'll see you in nature. This week we're going to make our own composter. So the materials you need is a container, a power drill, or something to make holes into your container. You're going to need brown material, which is either paper or cardboard from inside your house, or you can use leaf debris or even lawn clippings for the brown debris. Then you're going to want soil to get your composter started, and then obviously your food scraps. So the first step is taking your container and flipping it over, and we're gonna drill holes into the base of the container. This kind of depends on the size of your container. I'm gonna put about 6 holes in mine, but it goes until about like 10 holes depending on the size of your container. It's just for airflow through the composter. Then once that's done, we're going to make our first layer, which is the brown layer. So I'm using shredded paper, but again, you can use leaves or lawn clippings, even cut up cardboard. This is gonna fill about 1/8 of your container. And now we're gonna add soil. Once you add enough soil, it's gonna be about halfway full of your container. Then your final layer is your food scraps. Once you have that all in, we're gonna mix it. You wanna mix to the point where most of your food scraps are covered. Next, we want to put a little bit of water in it. We don't want it soaking wet, we just want the dirt and everything damp. Going to mix it again. Next, we want to drill the final couple holes in our lid. I'm gonna drill about 6 more holes on the lid, and that's once again for airflow. Now your composter is ready. You want to find a location in your backyard, or if you're in an apartment, you can just leave it on your patio. You do kind of want to find a shadier spot for your composter, as full sun would dry out your composter. And you want to make sure it's not in a spot that'll get too wet. So if a lot of water comes off your roof, you don't want your composter right underneath there. The more water in your composter, the more it will smell. You can put any fruit or veggie scraps in it, bread, eggs, coffee grinds or tea grinds, and then as well as leaf litter or lawn clippings. So you don't want meat, dairy, bones, grease, stuff like that. And then that way your composter will do well, it won't attract wildlife, and it won't smell.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Looking for the best way to get the Major League Baseball games you want to watch? Rogers Super Sports Pack has you covered. With MLB Extra Innings, you'll have a premium ticket to out-of-market regular season games with all games available in HD. Don't miss the action from the games you want from both the American and National Leagues. MLB Extra Innings, part of the Super Sports Pack. For only $35.95 a month, Rogers customers get all this for one all-inclusive price. Order using your remote starting on channel 431 or visit Rogers.com today.
The Canadian film and TV industry recognizes it's time to build a better workforce, which includes more opportunities for Black, Indigenous, and persons of color. HireBIPOC.com is here to help make this happen. Whether you're already in the business, trying to get a start, or in a position to hire, HireBIPOC.com could connect you to the right people. From script to development, production to post, distribution to marketing. Check out HireBIPOC.com now and help build a stronger industry together.